Hey, hey. All right. Today I have such a sweet treat for you. So, we are on with my girl, Angela Naumann, and she is a boy mom, bookie nerd, and amateur wine taster. This is why we get along so well. After 20 plus years of her own entrepreneurial and personal growth journey, she became a life coach for women that sometimes needed a Yoda in their life. She helps the female entrepreneur that is stressed out, not getting stuff done, wondering how to balance life while not being a moody witch. With a practical step-by-step plan, she guides you to renew your mind, build your confidence, and balance life so you can stop stressing and get stuff done, feel stronger, more confident as you show the world you do have what it takes. Girl, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm excited, like that nervous excitement, but that's what I have.
Amazing.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay. So obviously I know you really well
Yeah.
because I adore you and it's so fun working with you. But why don't you just introduce yourself to everyone who you're brand new to?
Well, my name's Angela Naumann, and I am a life coach to the female entrepreneur. I help women basically just crack the code for their success, and so they can start, hitting their revenue goals and hitting their business goals while pursuing a life that they're passionate about. And personally, I'm coming up on my 21st wedding anniversary on the 20th. Yeah,
Exciting.
isn't that crazy? I keep telling him it's been 23 years and he keeps correcting me. That's okay.
It's okay.
Uh, yeah. Like you said, I'm a boy mom. I have a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, and one's at scout camp and one is a soccer player. I do the boy mom things. And personally, I am a Supernatural TV show fan. So all my SPN fans out there, they can relate with me. And then I'm a Disney World junkie. We've talked about this. Like,
Totally.
I adore Disney World. It is my magical place. And my husband has to rein me back in on how often we can go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're gonna love visiting us because our house is 20 minutes from Disney and we literally just got our annual passes. So we can go like
So
every
you're going to be my Airbnb.
I know, seriously though. Oh my goodness. Oh, so fun. So tell us, how the heck did you get started being a life coach and helping entrepreneurs becoming those high performers?
Well, okay. So I've been in and out of different businesses and network marketing for 20 years. Absolutely adored network marketing, and I was in those. And during that time, this is kind of my aha. I was at an event where they had a guest speaker, and there was all these top earners there. And I'm sitting there at this table with people that are making $500,000 a year, and I'm like, what is different? I'm more educated.
Mhm.
I'm um I don't know. I feel like I had my stuff together way more than they did. I'm a harder worker, all those things, or at least I know I am a hard worker. So what was different? And it was at that time, I'm like, it has to be the mindset piece. That
Mhm.
has to be what's different between me and them. And so I hired a coach. I hired a life coach, and this is several years back, and we worked with him for years. And it was during that time, I'm earning trips, I'm doing the things. And he's like, well, what is your favorite part of your job? Because I'm like, because he kept going, is this really what you want? And I'm like, why do you keep asking me that? And he's like, I'm not trying to imply anything or put anything out there for you. He goes, I'm just really curious. Because I was like, I'd earn a trip and I'm like, but I'd tell him how much I didn't like the things I did to get there. I wasn't having
Uh-huh.
fun.
Yeah.
And um, and he said, well, what do you really enjoy? I said, my best time in my week was the hour and a half I was spending with him.
Huh.
My
Yeah.
favorite part of the day was the time of day where I was doing the personal growth. And so I really started discovering I really enjoyed the coaching side.
Yeah.
And around that same time, my mom developed breast cancer. So I decided to go to school to become a health coach to get healthy, do the coaching and, kind of marry those things. And as I started seeing clients for health coaching, what I found was everything I was doing was life coaching.
Yeah.
And so I slowly started fading out the health coaching and moving into the life coaching. And because I'd been in and out of business for 20 years, that's who my audience was. That's who my friends are. They're in
Yeah.
network marketing, they're in companies, they have their own businesses.
Mhm.
And that's how I became the life coach to the entrepreneur. So that's kind of how I came across that in a
Okay. So cool and so funny. So when you shared your story about being at like the event and getting to see the like $1 million earners, I had the exact same thing happen. That's why like my jaw dropped and I was like, but my takeaway was if they can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like what motivated me. I'm like, they're just like me. Like if they can do this, I can do this too.
Yeah.
And that's what really
Exactly.
got me to like take action. And I did also learn in network marketing, like that was one of the best educations ever. And I'm so
Absolutely.
grateful for that experience. I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't in network marketing for sure. It was there that I learned how important mindset is. And I actually hired a life coach for an entire year back in 2015, 2016, I
It's
think.
like we're the same person.
I know it's so funny, but like I swear I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't have that background first in network marketing, but then learning about mindset and working with that life coach and just working with all my crap because there's so much that you're able to help us get through that I really do think as entrepreneurs we need that, like it's so
Yes.
important.
And in our minds, our mindset, it's like an onion. And so you peel back one layer thinking, oh, now I'm going to arrive at my goal and my dream. And there's just another layer.
Yeah.
And it takes time. You don't get to what I call a low performance mindset overnight.
Yeah.
It's little things that happen through life that kind of build on each other. It's the doubts that just slowly start layering on top of each other, and you have to just kind of break those apart. And the good thing is our minds are manageable, and we can choose what we believe.
Yeah.
We can choose what we think. So we can choose what doubts we have. We can choose what fears we have. It's not always easy, but it's simple. That's what I help people do.
So can you tell us what is a high performance mindset? Let's just kind of start with
Absolutely.
that.
To me, a high performance mindset is the attitude and the expectations that you are holding for managing your thoughts, managing your performance, and your productivity. So, and to do those things at a high level, because like I said, you can manage your thoughts and performance and your productivity at a lower level,
Mm-hmm.
but to manage them at a high level is a different thing. And so to me, that's exactly what that is. It's that moving into those higher expectations, that higher attitude, confidence, empowered, getting stuff done, where success habits naturally just build themselves, where
Yeah.
productivity naturally increases because of your mindset.
Okay, so how is that going to help us, the entrepreneur, when we develop that high performance mindset? What are some changes that we could expect?
Well, what you're going to see is, well, let me think how you say it. When the changes you're going to see is you're going to see your motivation increase, where you're going to have this more natural intrinsic drive to work. You're going to have, when you build habits, they're going to start lasting. Because that's what we so often do. We start habits. We call them habits, but really we've just practiced something.
Yeah.
And if it's not still in place 6 months down the road, you don't have a habit. So it's truly building that habit that's going to be in place 6 months down the road, 1 year down the road. It's increasing your productivity so you can work less and get more done. Because most of us as entrepreneurs, that's exactly what we want. We want to work less and get a higher pay, or we want to work less so we have time for our children or our families and to do the things we love. Maybe it's even just time to read a book because you don't have time to read a book or whatever you're passionate about. So having that high performance mindset, the end result is getting more done in less time with stronger habits that are going to really propel you forward. It's hitting your goals, hitting your revenue goals while pursuing the life you love, by pursuing things you're passionate about.
So hitting your revenue goals while also not being like a stressed out monkey running all over the place.
Yeah, because I was there.
Yes. Oh,
and
me too, for sure.
I remember my early 20s, and that's my biggest struggles. My early 20s, I was low confidence. And it carries over into every area of your business, that low mindset. It carries over into not just your business, it carries over into your relationships with your family, it carries over into how you parent, it carries over into what roles you take in your community, at church or whatever, and of course into your business. So For me, I was afraid of being uncomfortable. I was afraid of feeling overwhelmed. And when I felt overwhelmed or I felt discomfort, I thought, oh, something's wrong with me, or this business isn't meant to be happening, or something like that, because it should be easy. And so I was snapping at my family, snapping at my husband for what? Helping do the dishes, putting the dish up the wrong way.
Yeah.
And anxious all the time, ignoring my family so I could work, and still finishing work and not having anything to show for it. So it was really hard.
Yeah, no, I think that's huge. And I went through like the exact same thing when I was building my network marketing company, where you get like so focused on a goal and you're so driven that that's all you really care about, or that's all you see. And you forget about taking care of your health, or you forget like there's all these things that just like drop to the wayside when you're just so focused on that. So I think it really is important that you set up these habits, which they could be so simple of like, I've been waking up early, getting my workout done before anything else like gets in the way to distract that. And having that time before other people, like my son wakes up, or just like life happens. It's so easy to say, I'm going to do it later, but later never happens,
It doesn't happen.
No.
No, it doesn't. And that's one of the things I've learned, and is that like just prioritizing time with my family. And we've talked about this, like, we went on a retreat together, and remember I came back and you're like, take the day off. And I'm like, I'm trying. And it is so hard to take a day off work. And because as entrepreneurs, our minds are always going there and thinking about it. But we have to prioritize days we don't pick up the phone, days we don't log into the computer, days we don't check email. And it doesn't have to be very often, but if your body is telling you to recharge, if your mind is starting to feel squirrely and like a hot mess, that is your like flashing light. Do something to recharge. And sometimes it just takes 15, like you said, an extra 15 minutes or 30 minutes in the morning can recharge you for days to come. But you have to start getting in tuned with what your body needs, with what your mindset needs, with what your business needs. That's a need in your business, to be energized and refreshed and focused enough to practice the success habits, to practice the increasing your productivity. Because you can't just decide to increase your productivity. You have to practice it. It's skills, it's capabilities that you're building. And the more you do it, the more confident you become at it.
Totally. And it starts with us. So like we have to be able to lead ourselves before we can actually lead other people. And we are leaders in our businesses. Like a lot of times, you might not think it, but if you have like 5 people on your email list, you're a leader of 5 people.
Exactly.
And it starts small, but it really starts to take off once you actually embrace that role and you step into that.
I 100% agree. 100% agree.
What are some things, if you're feeling stuck in your own mindset and you're getting in your own way, what are some things you can do to develop that high performance mindset?
Okay, so let me just start you where I would start my clients. Like that very first time or so we meet together, the first thing we're going to talk about is what clutter is in their life. And clutter can be physical clutter in their environment, but a lot of times, like talking about that onion, we have clutter in our mind.
Yes.
We have clutter in our habits, things that are stopping us and slowing us down. And so we have to look at what is getting in the way. I kind of think of it like a messy house syndrome. So that the mess in the house is going to slowly pile up, and you're going to start feeling overwhelmed and anxious. And the longer you put it off dealing with it, the longer it's going to take to clean, right? And the more you're like, you don't even know where to start fixing it. So we look at clutter. You have to look at what clutter is in your schedule. Look at what clutter is in your limiting beliefs, and what clutter is in around your desk. Sometimes you don't have a place to work and your desk is so cluttered. When you sit down, you're distracted. You're not focused.
Yep.
And so it's clearing that clutter. And I was talking with my friend Mindy today, and she's like, during the work time, she's been turning off her phone so that she can actually
listened to me. Oh my gosh. That makes me so happy.
So it's so important that we look at what clutters around us. Because even as coaches, the phone sneaks up on us, or the clutter on the desk, it all just will sneak up on you, and you have to deal with it before you can move on to the other things.
Okay. So what are the other things?
All right. next thing I would look at with my clients is, what is their motivation? You have to be crystal clear on what it is you want and why you want it. If you don't know, there's no reason to talk about anything else. If you don't know what your goal is, you don't have a reason to look at a marketing strategy. You don't have a reason to work on anything. You have to know what it is you want and why you want it. And so I call this with my clients, looking for your big MOFA, your big motivating factor. And so that's the thing where, when you're tired, let's say you have a second job and you work all day and you come home, and then that's the time you work your business. What is going to get you to work your business when all you really want to do is sit down and watch Netflix for 3 hours and drink half a bottle of wine? What's going to keep you working? So you have to kind of know that internal motivation so that it can be forefront. And then what I do with my clients is we work on how to anchor those in so that they become things that are a part of our day, that constant reminder of where we're going. With that, kind of moving with that right into our goal setting. And we've all heard, SMART goals. That's pretty well known, that you're going to look at specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound goals. I think of those as like, your goal is going to be like the boat. Okay. Your motivation, that's the propeller pushing you forward. And your goals is what's kind of steering you which way you go. And you have to know where you're going and be specific with it so you can actually hit the island and not just go circles in the ocean. And so those are the two first things I start with my clients. After we kind of get those solidified, really solid, we then move into the attitude part. And I like to think of it's kind of like the John Maxwell failing forward. Right. You have to have that top earner mindset. And part of that is recognizing, what do you have that's a top earner mindset, what you don't have, because you probably have aspects of it. And looking at how top earners see things versus how maybe you see things. So like a top earner, failing is not failure. It is a learning experience. So it's a curiosity. Wonder why that didn't work well. What could I change? What could I do next time? How about I do it this way? What happens if I do it like this? And it's truly investigating each little section of your business to move forward. It's a curious mindset versus, great, I failed, I'm going to go sit on the couch for 3 weeks because I had a bad month. That I didn't win the trip or whatever. So now I'm going to just, get off Facebook for 3 weeks. I'm going to take a break. Yeah. It's not taking a break. It's okay. Next goal, and just moving forward, failing forward, as John Maxwell says, instead of letting it knock you off your feet. So yeah. So those are the biggest, like, off the top of my head tips I would tell people. When you're feeling stuck, you got to get rid of clutter. You have to get really clear on what it is you want, why you want it, and then set a really specific goal. And I would say on the goals, I didn't say this, but I would say you want to have your big goal, like maybe where you want to be in a year from now, but then break that down. Okay, what am I going to do this week? Sometimes it's a matter, okay, today my goal is simply, here's the 3 things I want to accomplish today. And if I get those done, I can celebrate my day as a win. Because not every day, your goal every day can't be, I'm going to earn $100,000 today. Sometimes, right? Sometimes today is going to be, okay, I'm going to do a live video. I'm going to follow up with those 3 people I talked to last week, and I'm going to write my blog, or whatever your business is. So it's breaking that goal down so it's manageable and it's not as scary that way too.
For sure.
Yeah. So those are like my top tips. And then can I add one more? Am I taking too much?
No, keep going. I like it.
Okay. The other thing I would say is to move yourself from passive action into massive action. This is a big thing for me. And this was something that was big for me to move my business forward, because in my 20s, when I was scared of everything I was doing, when I had low confidence, I would do a lot of passive action things. So I was, this was before I was married. So I was probably like 21 years old. I had signed up with Mary Kay, and I was winning like weekly sales and things like that. But I was still very nervous. I would sign up for everything that was passive in action. If I could go to a workshop, if I could read a book by someone, if I could just reorganize my inventory, whatever it was that didn't actually put me in front of people,
Yep.
I would find myself there. So I would have these moments where I was in massive action and I was holding classes or whatever, but then maybe I had a bad month, a bad week or something, and I would move back into passive action where I was not meeting new people, where I was not sharing my product with new people. And so those massive action things are the things that are going to actually move you forward in your business, things that are going to actually make you money in the long run.
Right.
So
That's
we
huge.
need, it is huge. And you need passive action. I'm all for it because I'm a mindset worker, right?
Yeah.
So passive action has to have its time, but it's a scheduled time. It's kind of like what you said, that's that getting up early and having a few minutes. It's reading a book in the evening. But, and along those lines, this kind of goes, I want to connect this in a way to say that working on your mindset is not always passive.
Mm.
If you are really stuck in your business and your mindset's what's holding you back, then to work on that, that is your massive action. Because if you don't have a top earner mindset, you're not going to become a top earner, even if you have a strategy.
Yeah.
You can have, we have to have the high performance mindset. We have to have a top earner mindset. We have to have self-care, and we have to have marketing strategies. It's pieces of a puzzle that have to fit together. And so if you only have your marketing strategy, then, and not a high performance mindset, it's not ever going to happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have the best high performance mindset and you don't have a marketing strategy, it's not going to happen for you. So it's finding the right code, so to speak, for yourself, because different people have different amounts of mindset work they need. Some people need more marketing, some people need more networking, or whatever all the pieces to the puzzle are. So you're not going to waste your time working on mindset things if that is where you need help. You're never going to be making a mistake working on your mindset, because without having that high performance mindset, you won't be the high performer. You're not going to have habits that really take your success up a level. You're not going to have the productivity that's not just increasing, but more effective, so that you can work less and get more done.
Yep.
So all of that goes together. And so know when you're moving into passive action, or from passive action into massive action, sometimes that means addressing those limiting beliefs, addressing the self-sabotage, addressing your goals that aren't working. It's pinpointing what you need for your business and for your mindset.
For sure. I think this is so important. And I love the way you explained it, of like a puzzle piece and all the pieces fitting together. A lot of times people are just saying, give me the strategy, give me the strategy, give me the strategy.
Yeah.
And you could give that same strategy to two different people, and one person will apply it and they'll
Exactly.
soar. And then the next person, same strategy, but because they don't have all this mindset work that you're talking about, they don't have that high performance mindset, they stay stuck. And it's so important that you work on that mindset piece, because that's really the key. Like, I think of it like the glue that puts everything together, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly it. It's what's going to hold together
Mm-hmm.
all the marketing and the networking and the social media. It holds all that together, because it's hard to build a business.
Really freaking hard. Like, if someone hasn't said that to you yet, it's hard.
And
for
it's
sure.
It's not always fun, and it's not, well, it can be fun, but it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. Our brains are like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? They told us no. Why are you going back?
For sure.
And our brains are like, please stop. And that's why we will self-sabotage, because our brains are like, no, we're going back over here. Netflix, comfortable.
It's very comfortable back there. Yeah. If you want to go to that next level, you have to grow.
Yeah, you got it. And I did a video on this recently. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Really so can you share some examples so people could like just
Uh,
take action, run with
being
it.
on a podcast, it was not comfortable at first.
There you go. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
it is just doing things the way our mind works, the way we build confidence.
Mhm.
It starts with courage. Like to join you here on the podcast today, it took courage. I just had to step out in courage. Or let's say you need to do a live video. A lot of people have a lot of trouble making live videos.
Yeah,
The first step, it's just courage. You
totally.
don't have the capabilities yet. You don't have the skill set already built. You're going to have to learn things as you go. So let's say you're deciding to do live videos. You might not even know what button to push, but you're going to step out in courage. You're going to try a button and see what happens. And then you're going to film a little short video doing whatever you do.
Yep.
As the more you do that, the more you become capable, the more you build a skill set.
Mhm.
And as those skills build, your mind goes, oh, well, we can do that. That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not so scary now. I'm feeling better. Now I'm confident. So your mind works through that process of courage, build your skill and your capability. Then your mind feels comfortable. Then it feels confident.
Yeah.
That's why stepping up to the mindset you need to step up to a $10,000 a month earner is different than the mindset you need to be a $100,000 a month earner, because the skills in between, your mind's going, nope, we don't have them yet.
Yeah.
But as you develop them, you build that confidence. And that's when your high performance mindset increases. That's when your productivity, your success habit, everything just starts going up, and you start building that mindset that just moves you forward. And like kind of like an onion, it's one layer on top of another. You're going to start building this layer of mindset, what you need to be at 10,000 a month. And then you have to build new high performance mindset strategies and things, qualities to go to 20. And then you build more to go to 40, and you build more to go to 50. It just is continually building upon itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish it was something we could just download. Like, here's your little download. It's like something from the Matrix. We can just download.
Totally.
It's not that way. It's not that way.
Can you give some examples of qualities of high performers? So what do they do that's different from just your average Joe?
Oh, that's a good question. So a high performer, they manage their time.
Mm-hmm.
They're managing their thoughts. So, and let me give an example of that. Maybe you message someone and ask to be a guest in their group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they don't answer you. You can tell they saw your message. How many times does this happen, right? You can tell they read your message, but no one answers, which is just fine. You don't know what happened. Maybe when they saw it, they were cooking and something exploded in the kitchen. You don't know everything that happens, but your mind, it starts playing games with you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that managing your mind would be going, instead of looking at this from a negative standpoint, I'm going to look at this from a confident standpoint. I'm going to confidently know that I put myself out there and showed courage, whether or not they answer my message or not. Or it's looking at it from those managing that thought behind that emotion. I'm going to get real deep in my life coaching stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a high performer manages their thoughts. They manage those emotions. It's not what do you call it? Like a whirlwind of emotions all over the place.
Yeah.
Their family's not getting whiplash from their emotions.
Uh-huh.
So they manage those emotions. They manage the thoughts behind them that cause us to have those emotions, because the way this works is your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. So if you stay in that negative place, that maybe you messaged someone and they didn't answer, or they just were flat out told you no, then you have to decide, well, what is your thought going to be about that? Because that's going to determine if you take action, what your next action is. So high performers manage those thoughts. They manage their time, their thoughts. High performers, when they work, high performers work on being effective and I want to say productive. I need to find a synonym for productive here, but it's truly focused work time.
Get
And
ish done. Just say get ish
yeah,
done.
they want to get it done now. And it's their only focus is on something that's of value, that's
Mhm.
going to content creation, working with people, things that truly move their business forward. They are not redesigning their webpage for the 14th time. If anything, they're hiring someone to design their webpage because they don't give
Yes.
that energy to that. So that's a
Yes.
difference in a high performer.
That's huge because I know, like, for me, I've wanted our website to be redone like forever. I did it took back like over a year ago and just took messy action. And I'm like, this is not the best use of my time. So I just hired Ashley, who's a member of Activate, and I'm like, she's freaking amazing at this. Like, I need Ashley's help. So just looking at what's the main thing that only you can do. So like the things that only I can do, these podcast interviews.
Exactly.
But
That's
I hire
exactly it.
someone on our team to help edit them, upload them, create the show notes, and I keep the main thing the main thing.
That's exactly it. But that's the bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that gives value to the world. That's the part that where, our whatever your passion is. Like my passion is for other women to not suffer with their mindset keeping them held back. So
Yeah.
the things that are important to me are going live and giving those tips,
Yeah.
writing my blog. Those are the things that where I feel like I can actually touch a life.
Yeah.
I really struggle with like the whole like time, taking time to be perfectly creative with an Instagram post is difficult for me. I want to be.
Hire somebody to do
I
that,
know
boo.
that's on my list. That's on my list. So those kind of things, you have to find where you are hitting your passion
Yep.
and it's giving value to the world, because that's what I think, the more value you give out into the world, the more it brings back to you.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree with you totally, 100%.
Yeah. So
So, can you share with us, have you had any mindset challenges that you've struggled with personally, and what did you do to break through them?
let's see. Mindset challenges. Let's see. I mean, I spent my 20s having those challenges where I was fussing with my family. I was
Mm-hmm.
fussing with my kids. I'll share this one. I don't share this one too often. A couple of years ago, I was real active doing my live videos. I was sharing. And I had someone who I thought was a friend flat out make fun of me to my face. And it really knocked me down where I truly like hibernated from Facebook for a little while, because it was scary. And it was someone I thought cared for me and would protect me, not make fun of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you think, if someone that cares for me is doing that, what does the rest of the world think? And so I got knocked off my feet. It knocked me down for a little bit. And it took me deciding how I wanted to think. I had to go back to, am I going to continue working in fear of worry or fear or anxiety of what other people are thinking? Or am I going to just pursue what I'm truly passionate about? And I had to go back to reframing those emotions and those thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
because
Can you share an example of how you would reframe that? So, what were you thinking before, and how did you
okay.
reframe it? What did you reframe it
Yes.
to?
Okay. So with, let me think in just a second. My The action was she made fun of me, okay? Or that was the circumstance. I got made fun of. So my feeling was, even people I care about think what I do is bad or stupid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thought behind that was, maybe I didn't want to be judged, or I'm not being accepted by those around me, right? Well, we all want acceptance.
For sure.
Um, so then my action from that was to get off Facebook, go sit and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
So trying to protect myself, my brain was like, no, we're not doing that anymore. No more.
I'm done.
We're done. No more of that. And so the result was my business took a little nosedive for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. But so what caused my business to nosedive? It was my mindset.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything else, just my mindset. So how did I reframe it? I decided I didn't want to think that way anymore. So I got to the place where I chose my emotion. I thought, here's what I want to feel about when I'm do a live video. I want to feel like I impact the world. I want to feel like I'm helping someone. I want to feel like I am giving value to the world. I'm making a difference. So I wanted to feel what emotion is that? Or thought behind that would be to feel accepted or feel like you're
Empowered.
empowered. Yes, I love it. So that's the emotion I wanted. I wanted to feel empowered. Let's go with that. So I had to go back. What thought do I need to create to feel empowered? Well, the thought I wanted then was so let's choose a thought. My thought might be, I'm trying to think what I really thought. To feel empowered, I'm going to feel empowered because whether or not it's accepted by everyone, I'm going to make a difference in one person's life today. And so just to move forward with that. So I had to choose the thought, whether or not it's accepted by everyone, I'm going to try to make a difference in people's lives today. And the thought is going to create the feeling of being empowered. So then the action comes from the feeling. If I feel empowered, I'm going to click the go live button and go live.
Yep.
And the result is I impact someone's life. Maybe I have a new client, those kinds of things. It just builds from there. But it all went back to the thought I was having. The first thought was not being accepted, which created fear. The second thought was, I'm going to do the best I can to make a difference in someone's life, and that's going to create empowerment. So that's kind of how that reframes. And sometimes it's quick and sometimes you have to kind of work on it.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. For sure. What's one habit you think we should incorporate into our daily lives to become unstoppable?
One habit. Well, I think you have to do something every day to work on your mindset. And that could be different things. That could be journaling. It could, I'm like you, like I'm a big proponent of the miracle morning. Like it was life-changing to me a couple of years ago when I discovered that. And in different years, different things I've done. I've gotten up at 4 a.m. to have my miracle morning time because I had to have it before my kids were up for whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that is huge. I think you have to do, I'm also really big into tapping, which is it's called emotional freedom technique. And that's where you tap on the different meridian points and you go through, this is a whole nother podcast.
Totally. We can do a whole podcast on tapping alone. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you can go to the tapping solution on Google and you can Google stuff and find out about tapping, but it just kind of goes through and releases negative things and moves you into a positive. It goes from a negative mindset to a positive mindset. Same thing with visualization or mental rehearsal. That's really big. And that's something big like Olympians do a lot of. And I would bet when you were playing
volleyball, of course, they had quiet time before every game, especially like our big games where we would just sit and visualize ourselves winning the match or getting the kill or like winning, and it was so surreal when we actually won the Junior Olympics my senior year because I had visualized that moment happening like hundreds of times before it actually happened. And it like that part was just crazy. And so I've definitely applied that in my business too, of visualizing what I want to happen before it actually happens.
It's so key. That's probably one of my most favorite things. And it's so easy like that. I love to do it in the morning. You wake up, you know how you kind of wake up in bed, you're not ready to get out and you're kind of that half dazed, dozing off a little bit thing. Like that to me is the perfect time to visualize because you're almost like in your subconscious mode then.
Yeah.
So I think that's the perfect time, or right before sleep. It's really great. But it's so key. Like I heard this story years ago about Michael Phelps. And during one of his games, one of his races, his goggles filled with water and he couldn't see. Oh. And he was interviewed afterwards because he still won. I'm sure he still won a gold medal, he still won. Yeah. And he's like, well, like, how did you do that when your goggles were messed up? And he said, I just did it the way I had visualized it. He had visualized winning that race and racing that race, doing the actions of that race so much that when he couldn't see, he just went off of what he knew from his visualization.
Oh, this is huge. This is huge. And I swear, if you take one thing away from our talk today, like
Take that.
take this part. Like if you start just visualizing what you want in your life and seeing it happening before it actually happens, like it's just crazy.
Well, and I would say not just the end game, visualize your actions.
Yes.
Visualize yourself writing your blog. Visualize yourself going live on Facebook. Visualize yourself holding a speaking event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever it is for whatever your business, visualize yourself doing the actions that it takes to be successful.
Yep.
And visualize yourself enjoying the actions.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, sister girls out there, if you don't enjoy your business at the beginning, you're not going to enjoy it when you're hitting the money you make is not going to make a difference.
Nope.
If you don't like what you do and what you have to do to grow it, you're not going to like the business when it arrives.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's such a good point. That's such a good point. People always think like I'll be happy when I hit this goal or whatever, and you won't. Like you have to be happy in the moment, in the process.
That is exactly right. Yeah. If you're not happy earning $25, you're not going to be happy earning 100,000. Because it's internal.
Yep.
It goes back into that mindset. It goes back to your thoughts.
For sure. So good.
Yeah, it is.
What's the best book you've ever read?
Ooh. Okay. You know, there's a book, it's called The Dream Giver.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wilkerson. It's a Christian book, but it's written as a parable. I adore this book, and it's a short little read. But what it does, it talks about a man named Ordinary. And he's ordinary, and he's going to leave the land where everything's predictable, where everybody does the exact same thing, and they watch TV every night, that kind of thing. And as he's trying to leave town, everybody's trying to stop him because it makes them uncomfortable that he's going to go do this. And then he finds himself crossing the river, going through deserts, trying to find his dream. And the dream giver is guiding him along the way. It's a real powerful parable, kind of along the lines of the Exodus. And to me, it just parallels when you're trying to reach a goal or a dream, all the desert journey that we go through, the challenges and moving them forward, and how sometimes that dream ends exactly like you pictured it. And sometimes it's a little different, but it's even better.
Yeah.
It's just it's a powerful book. Whenever you can pull in parables, I think it creates those visual images in your mind. It just is so powerful.
For sure.
That's probably my favorite book, The Dream Giver.
The Dream Giver. Cool. Dream Giver. What does it mean to you to make an impact?
To make an impact. That's such a good question. For me, making an impact is helping a woman who is crying in the shower every day because maybe she's not living the life she wants, and she has a dream to have a certain business. It's helping her get unstuck so she can pursue that dream and she can pursue those passions. To me, to make an impact is for her to feel empowered, for her to feel confident in who she is and what she's able to do. Because I believe if we all walked around feeling confident and empowered, this world would be amazing. Like as a parent, what do I want? I want my kids to feel confident and empowered so that they can go do whatever they want. And that's what I want for women, because I've been the woman crying herself to sleep because I feel like I'm trying so hard and nothing's ever happening. Yeah. Why is it so easy for them? And why is it so hard for me? I've been there, and I want women to know with just some adjustments in their mindset, they can be the one that's there. They can be the one achieving it.
Oh, I love it. What's next for you?
What's next for me? I have a class coming up. I have a free class on mindset, on high performance mindset, secrets to 10x your productivity. I have a free class coming up. So that's 24th, 25th, 26th. It's a 3-day
of June.
Of June. And it's just once a day. So I did one day where it's in the morning, one in the evening, one in the middle of the day, so people could kind of pick. And it's going to be a live class. And if they want to join the class to learn how more mindset secrets to 10 times their productivity, it's just www.freesuccessclass.com. And they can, it's super easy. They can do that. And if they want something for between now and then, I have a journal that will walk them through finding their why, walk them through revisiting their goals and starting to move into those habits to develop the high performance habits. They're going to stay with them 6 months to a year from now. And they can grab that at www.freesuccessjournal.com. So those are 2 resources they can get between now to just move them forward immediately. The freesuccessjournal.com will move them immediately. It's something they can start today. And then the freesuccessclass.com, they can join and catch some really great tips. I'm super excited about this. I saved all my best stuff for that class. So
Ooh, cool, cool, cool. Well, I'm excited for that. Where can we connect with you?
AngelaNaumann.com. So
Easy.
super, yeah, AngelaNaumann.com. And then I'm on Facebook. I'm Angela Naumann. So really easy, really easy.
Easy peasy. Well, Angela, I adore you and everything that you're doing, and entrepreneurs need you, like for sure. We do. Like this is so, so, so important. So thank you for just being such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom and sharing everything with us.
I appreciate you opening up and let me come share with your audience. And I really hope that some women out there found some value today, that they can go through the rest of their day feeling more empowered and more confident in who they are, because the best job out there is being an entrepreneur.
Yes. Oh, you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.